this is a PowerPoint on Excavate. Excavate is still a fairly new keyword, so there's not much to go on, so bear with me. Starting with Death Knight. Death Knight, their Excavate synergy cards are all about mana cheat. Skeleton Crew makes your next treasure 1, 2, 3, or 4, costs 0. Taking along your Excavate, of course, and Harrowing Ox makes your next card cost 7 less if you've excavated twice. The Azurite Rat also follows this pretty well by cheating back out your most expensive minion that died, usually Reska the Pit Boss, which has its own mana cheat built in. This is definitely one of my favorite Excavates. I think it provides a cool, interesting game plan, and the Azurite Rat lets you actually fight for board very efficiently due to giving the minion Lifesteal and Reborn. Then, for Mage, Mage is a little harder to quantify as Excavate Mage isn't the greatest, I will be honest, but Cryopreservation and Blast Mage Miner are both reprints of older cards that were given Excavate, and they are a lot more expensive for the cost, especially Cryopreservation. It's a little awkward, I will say, but I understand it. Excavate is pretty strong in Standard. And then you have Azurite Hawk, which gives you incredibly powerful Titans. You get anywhere from 4 to 9 mana cheated when you play the Azurite Hawk. It's actually very powerful. If you get ENR, if you get Yogg-Saron, even if you get something like Aman'Thul, you are incredibly happy. Then for Paladin, you have Serfinley the Intrepid as the big payoff Excavate, but you have the Azurite Dragon. Give all other minions in your hand, deck, and battlefield +3/+3. Incredibly powerful. Of course, Paladin is dual class with Shaman, so you also have Shroomskavate. But, it did get nerfed because of its power level in Paladin. When you had Crusader's Aura and Charge minions, just way too strong for the class. It's still okay. Honestly, Serfinley the Intrepid is very powerful, but Fossilized Glysaur is a weirdly powerful enough card that I think it could see play in Wild, and I think that is interesting because archetypes like this are usually not that powerful, but if you have one individually powerful enough card, it could make it have a niche, and I think Fossilized Glysaur is genuinely up there for power of this archetype, of this keyword. Then for Rogue, you have the best Excavate enabler of all of the cards in Julie the Kid. You get 3 Excavates from one card. It's incredible. As well as Adorite Scorpion is one of the best, if not the best, reward. It's so powerful, and the fact that it gives you so many spells, you can bounce it over and over again. And then, yeah, there's a lot of mana cheat. Yes, it's not less than 1, but that doesn't really make much of a difference because of how much mana you're already cheating, how many free spells you're basically getting. It's super powerful. And it used to be Excavate 8 to cost 0, and you would still get the 4 spells, but that was not very fun to play with or play around for anyone, so it was changed to this, but it's still very powerful. Then for Shaman, Shaman's a bit iffy because of the fact that the Azurite Murloc is so weak. It's bad. You don't want to be playing the Azurite Murloc at all, and if you're not playing your, reason to be running Excavate in your class, kind of feels a little wrong to be using it. It's not that great from everything I've seen. Of course, I'm not big on playing Excavate in Standard, but everyone I've talked to has never had anything positive to say about, Azurite Murloc especially, even though you have pretty powerful cards in, Serfinley the Intrepid. You have Digging Straight Down, which synergizes incredibly well with the spell that causes Zentimo, Connectivity, I think it's called. And then you have, of course, before the nerf, you had Shroomskate, which is incredibly powerful. It's just Azurite Murloc doesn't help you at all, and if you play it, you kind of lose the game because you would rather have your minions. Changing your minions is not a good thing. Then for Warlock, the Azurite Snake was hotfix nerfed 3 days in the expansion. There's not much to say past that. It was nerfed, and it kind of fell out because it already wasn't that good. After day 3 in the expansion, it was figured out there are a lot better decks. So once that happened, it kind of fell off significantly. In Wild, it was actually not very good. A lot of people expected it to be something crazy in Wild, but it's just Excavate as a mechanic is so slow, it doesn't really do much. It's a value kind of standard mechanic, doesn't really work for Wild, that the Azurite Snake just couldn't really do anything there. Then, Warrior, you have an incredibly powerful Azurite animal in the Azurite Ox. It's so strong with your brand and Standard. In Wild, of course, like I'm saying, Excavate doesn't really work. It's too slow. It doesn't really provide much. But in Standard, I'm telling you, it's crazy. Playing against Warrior with Excavate in Standard feels like a nightmare if they can get the Azerite Aux after they've played, their brand. You just fall so far behind on board because of these 8/8s, and then Badlands Brawler can bail them out of anything because it's a guaranteed brawl effect on it with a 4/4 body, so it's just super powerful at fighting for the board. And honestly, if it weren't for something like Slag Maw being so terrible, I think that this would be one of the strongest archetypes ever, the Warrior side of Excavate, because it is crazy. Like, you have Blast Charge, which is, execute for +1 mana to get a card, effectively draw a card. You have your upgraded old Shield Block with the 3 mana, get an Excavate, and then, like I'm saying, with Badlands Brawler, it's just so nuts. Slag Maw is really the bad piece of this puzzle. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. Like I said, there's not much to talk about Excavates because it is a new mechanic. I couldn't really go into many details like I could for older mechanics, that have history, but there is that. If you enjoy, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think down below, and then check out the giveaway for both aspects. If you're interested, just put your favorite card down below, make sure you're subscribed, and yeah, we'll see who gets it by the time the expansion rolls around. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Darker than they've ever been.